Welcome back to Wisdom of Aging. Friends, let's talk about something that's been on my mind lately. Bedtime habits. You know, the little things we do every night without thinking twice. But here's the truth. Those habits might be quietly shaping our health in ways we don't realize. A few weeks ago, I heard about a dear friend or friend, a lively 73-year-old man, who passed away peacefully in his sleep. Now, that phrase, peacefully in his sleep, sounds comforting, doesn't it? But here's the thing. His family later shared that he'd been struggling with restless nights, heartburn, and fatigue for months. It made me wonder, could his bedtime routines have played a role? And if so, what can we learn from it? Let's be honest. Sleep changes as we age. Maybe you've noticed it yourself. You fall asleep later, wake up earlier, or toss and turn more than you used to. But what if some of those habits we've carried for decades are actually working against us now? Today, we're going to talk about 5 bedtime habits that, after 70, might do more harm than good. And don't worry, this isn't about fear or guilt. It's about giving ourselves the best chance to wake up feeling refreshed, energized, and ready to enjoy the day ahead. Let's start with the first habit. Eating a heavy meal right before bed. Now, I get it. There's something comforting about a warm, hearty dinner, especially if you're sharing it with loved ones. But here's the catch. As we age, our digestion slows down. Lying flat after a big meal can lead to acid creeping up into the throat, causing heartburn or even disrupting breathing during sleep. I'll never forget my neighbor, Martha, who loved her late-night pasta dinners. She started waking up gasping, thinking it was just a touch of indigestion. Turns out it was silent reflux, something her doctor said could strain her heart over time. The fix? Try finishing dinner at least 3 hours before bed. If you're peckish later, reach for something light, a handful of almonds, a slice of turkey, or even a small bowl of oatmeal. Your body will thank you. Now, the second habit might surprise you, drinking alcohol to wind down. I know, a glass of wine feels like the perfect way to relax. But here's the problem. Alcohol might help you fall asleep faster, but it sabotages the quality of your sleep. It dehydrates you, disrupts your REM cycle, that's the deep, restorative sleep we all need, and can even worsen sleep apnea. Take my buddy Frank, for example. He used to swear by his nightly bourbon, but after switching to herbal tea, chamomile or peppermint, he told me he woke up feeling 10 years younger. If you enjoy a drink, try having it earlier in the evening with plenty of water alongside it. Small tweaks, big rewards. And here's the third habit. Scrolling through screens late into the night. Phones, tablets, TVs, they all emit blue light, which tricks your brain into thinking it's daytime. This messes with melatonin, the hormone that tells your body it's time to rest. My cousin Edna used to watch her favorite shows till midnight, then wonder why she'd stare at the ceiling for hours. Once she started turning off screens an hour before bed, opting for a crossword puzzle or soft music instead. She slept like a rock. If you must use a device, try blue light blocking glasses or a night mode setting. Better yet, cozy up with a good book or share stories with your partner. Now, let's dig a little deeper into why these habits matter so much. Take digestion, for instance. When we're younger, our bodies process food like well-oiled machines, but after 70, things slow down, muscle tone in the digestive tract weakens, and stomach acid production decreases. That's why a heavy meal at 8 p.m. might sit like a brick in your belly until midnight. And it's not just discomfort. Reflux can irritate the esophagus over time, leading to bigger issues. But here's the good news. Shifting dinner earlier doesn't mean sacrificing joy. My friend Martha swapped her late-night feast for leisurely afternoon lunches with her grandchildren, and she says it's brought her even closer to them. Life's about adapting, not losing out. As for alcohol, I know some of you might think, but I've always had a nightcap. It's tradition, and I hear you. Traditions matter. But here's what a sleep specialist once told me. Alcohol is like a loan shark for rest. It gives you a quick dose of relaxation, but steals back your deep sleep with interest. You might drift off faster, but your body misses out on repairing muscles, balancing hormones, and solidifying memories. All the magic that happens in those later sleep stages. Frank's switch to tea wasn't easy at first, but he found new rituals, warming up the kettle, savoring the aroma, even planting a chamomile garden. Sometimes the replacement becomes a reward. And screens. Oh, screens. They're everywhere, aren't they? But here's a little science to ponder. Blue light doesn't just trick your brain. It can also suppress melatonin by up to 50%. That's like telling your body to skip a night's rest. Edna's solution wasn't just turning off the TV. She rediscovered her love for old photo albums. Now, she and her husband spend evenings reminiscing over pictures of their camping trips and grandkids' birthdays. It's better than any show, she laughs. The point is, replacing screen time isn't about deprivation. It's about reclaiming moments that feed your soul. Now, these first 3 habits are just the beginning. But think about it. Adjusting when you eat, what you drink, and how you unwind can make all the difference. Imagine waking up without that groggy feeling, your mind clear and your body rested. That's the goal, isn't it? The best part? None of these changes require drastic effort. Just a little awareness and a willingness to try. So let's keep this conversation going. There's more to explore, including 2 critical habits that often fly under the radar. Habits that, if ignored, can quietly chip away at your health. But remember, you're not alone in this. Together, we're building a community that values wisdom, health, and the joy of living fully, no matter our age. Stay with me, and let's keep learning how to make every night and every morning count. Let's keep this conversation going. Friends, we talk about the risks of late-night meals, alcohol, and screens, habits that sneak into our evenings without much thought. But there are 2 more bedtime routines we need to address, habits that might seem harmless but can quietly chip away at the quality of your rest. And trust me, these are things most of us don't even realize we're doing. Let's start with the 4th habit, neglecting your sleep environment. Now, this one's a bit sneaky because it's not about what you do before bed, but where you rest. Think about it. When was the last time you really looked at your bedroom? Is your mattress sagging in the middle? Are your pillows flattened after years of use? Or maybe the room's too warm, too bright, or filled with distractions. I'll never forget my friend Helen, who'd been sleeping on the same lumpy mattress for 20 years. She'd wake up with a stiff back every morning, blaming it on old age. But after her daughter convinced her to try a firmer mattress and a supportive pillow, Helen said it felt like sleeping on a cloud. Her back pain eased, and she stopped waking up every 2 hours. It wasn't age, it was her setup all along. Here's the thing. As we get older, our bodies become less forgiving of discomfort. A mattress that felt fine at 60 might strain your joints at 70. And temperature matters more than you'd think. Our bodies need to cool down slightly to enter deep sleep, but many of us keep bedrooms too warm. My brother-in-law, George, used to crank up the heat in winter, only to toss all night from sweating. Once he lowered the thermostat to 68 degrees and switched to breathable cotton sheets. He slept straight through till sunrise. Small changes, big impact. And let's not forget light and noise. Even a flickering street lamp or a ticking clock can disrupt fragile sleep. Blackout curtains or a soft sleep mask. Lifesavers. A white noise machine or even a fan. Magic for masking outside sounds. Your bedroom should feel like a sanctuary, not an afterthought. Now, the 5th habit, late day napping. Oh, I know, this one's controversial. After all, who doesn't love a good nap? But here's the catch. Timing is everything. A short nap earlier in the day can recharge you, but dozing off too close to bedtime confuses your internal clock. Take my neighbor, Carl. He'd settle into his recliner after dinner, just for a few minutes, and wake up 2 hours later at 9 p.m. Then he'd lie awake till 2 a.m., frustrated and exhausted. His doctor called it sleep procrastination. Napping too late steals your body's readiness for real sleep. The solution? Carl started moving his nap to right after lunch, setting a 20-minute timer. He'd wake up refreshed and still tired enough to drift off at a reasonable hour. But let's dig deeper. Why do naps after 4 p.m. cause such trouble? It's all about your circadian rhythm, the body's natural sleep-wake cycle. As daylight fades, your brain starts producing melatonin, the sleep hormone. A late nap pauses that process, like hitting snooze on your body's internal alarm. And if you're already struggling to fall asleep, that snooze button becomes a trap. Now, I'm not saying naps are bad. Far from it. Studies show a 10 to 20-minute nap can boost mood and focus. The key is to keep it early and brief. Think of it as a power recharge rather than a mini hibernation. Now, let's tie this all together. Imagine your body as a finely tuned clock. Every habit, what you eat, drink, watch, or how you set up your room, adjust the hands of that clock. When the hands are aligned, you tick smoothly through the night. But when they're out of sync, that's when fatigue, restlessness, or worse creeps in. The good news? You hold the tools to reset that clock. Maybe it's swapping an old pillow, cracking a window at night, or moving your nap up by a few hours. These aren't radical overhauls. They're gentle nudges toward better rest. And let's not forget the power of consistency. Our bodies thrive on routine. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, even on weekends, strengthens that circadian rhythm. My Aunt Lorraine used to stay up late watching TV on Fridays, then sleep till noon on Saturdays. I'm making up for lost sleep, she'd say. But her Mondays felt like jet lag. Once she committed to a steady 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. schedule, her energy stabilized. It wasn't easy at first, but within a month, she noticed she'd stopped needing afternoon naps altogether. Now, I know change can feel daunting. Maybe you've had the same bedtime routine for 40 years. But here's the beautiful part about wisdom. It gives us the courage to adapt. You don't have to overhaul your life overnight. Start with one habit. Try cooler sheets. Swap a late nap for a stroll in the afternoon sun. Or simply dim the lights an hour earlier. Each small step is a victory. And remember, you're not alone in this. Thousands of others are right here with you, learning, adjusting, and thriving. So let's keep moving forward. There's more to explore, including how to tie all these habits together into a nighttime routine that feels nourishing, not restrictive. But for now, take pride in how far you've come. Every tweak you make is a gift to your future self, a promise of mornings filled with energy, clarity, and the quiet joy of a rest well earned. Stay tuned, friends. The best is yet to come. Let's bring this home. Friends, we've walked through 5 bedtime habits that might be quietly working against you. Late meals, alcohol, screens, a neglected sleep environment, and late-day naps. But here's what I want you to remember. This isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's about honoring the incredible wisdom of your body and giving it the care it deserves. Because here's the truth I've learned over the years. Aging isn't about losing vitality. It's about refining how we nurture it. Let's start by revisiting these habits through a new lens, connection. Every choice we make at bedtime isn't just about sleep. It's about how we connect with ourselves and the world around us. Take those heavy meals, for example. When you shift dinner earlier, you're not just avoiding reflux. You're creating space for connection. Imagine sharing that meal with family or friends, savoring stories and laughter while the sun's still up, then spending the evening relaxing without that bloated, restless feeling. My friend Martha, who we talked about earlier, found that her earlier dinners turned into game nights with her grandchildren. I'm more present now, she told me. I'm not rushing them out the door, so I can lie down. That's the magic of small changes. They ripple outward, touching every part of your life. And what about that nightcap? Swapping alcohol for herbal tea isn't just about better sleep. It's a ritual of self-care. Think of it as a quiet conversation with yourself at the end of the day. My buddy Frank, who traded bourbon for chamomile, says his evenings now feel like a gentle exhale. He lights a candle, listens to old jazz records, and lets the tea steep slowly. It's my time to reflect, he says, to appreciate the day instead of numbing it. That's the heart of it, isn't it? These habits aren't restrictions. They're invitations to slow down and savor the life you've built. Now, let's talk about screens again, not as enemies, but as distractions we can gently sidestep. When you turn off the TV or put down the phone, you're opening the door to richer connections. My cousin Edna, who swapped late-night shows for photo albums, told me she's rediscovered her marriage. Bill and I talk more now, she said. We laugh about the past, plan little trips. It's like dating again. That blue light didn't just disrupt her sleep. It dimmed the light between her and the people she loves most. Replacing it didn't just help her rest. It revived her joy and your sleep environment? Transforming your bedroom isn't just about comfort. It's about respect. Respect for your body, your peace, your need for sanctuary. Helen, who upgraded her mattress, told me her bedroom now feels like a sacred space. She opens a window to let in fresh air, spritzes lavender on her pillow, and reads a poem before bed. "It's my way of saying you matter," she said. "That's the lesson here." Every fluffed pillow, every adjusted thermostat, every curtain drawn against the streetlights is a love letter to yourself. As for napping, well, let's reframe that too. A well-timed nap isn't a sign of slowing down. It's a strategic recharge. Carl, who moved his naps to after lunch, found it gave him the energy to finally tackle his garden. "I'm growing tomatoes again," he grinned. "Haven't done that since my 50s. By aligning his rest with his body's rhythm, he didn't just sleep better. He rediscovered a passion. But here's the most important takeaway. None of this is about adding more to your plate. It's about simplifying. Life after 70 isn't a race. It's a stroll through a garden you spent decades tending. You've earned the right to pick the ripest fruits, to linger where the light is warm, and to let go of what no longer serves you. So if you take one thing from this conversation, let it be this. Your rest is sacred. It's the foundation of every laugh, every adventure, every quiet moment of gratitude. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What small change are you excited to try? Have you already swapped a habit and noticed a difference? Share your stories in the comments. We're all here to learn from each other. And if you found this helpful, do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to Wisdom of Aging. Together, we're building a community where every chapter of life is celebrated, not feared. Before I go, let me leave you with this. Aging is not a decline. It's an evolution. Every wrinkle, every gray hair, every year added to your story is a badge of resilience. You've weathered storms, loved deeply, and gathered wisdom no textbook could teach. Now, it's time to honor that journey with rest that nourishes your body, your mind, and your spirit. So tonight, as you prepare for bed, take a moment to pause. Breathe in the quiet. Whisper a thank you to yourself for showing up day after day with courage and grace. Here's to your health, your peace, and the countless sunrises still.